Let's paint a picture together. Imagine if I committed a crime under the influence of a mental illness. What would happen to me? Would I be subjected to statutory imprisonment, or would I be let off the hook? Let's find out. Mental health disabilities are impairments or conditions that have a long-term effect on a person's mental well-being. Mental illnesses differ, so if I have either of these, clinical depression, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, dementia, schizophrenia, anxiety, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, autism, and so many others, would I still be fully judged and convicted?
Under the law, specifically the Magistrates Courts Act as well as the Trial and Indictments Act, which governs criminal trials both in Magistrates Courts as well as the High Court respectively, provides for a unique or a special procedure on how such persons must be handled. Where a court during the trial or during the preliminary stages forms an opinion that the accused person is likely to be of unsound mind, court then inquires into the unsoundness. Where the offense with which the accused person is bailable, court can grant him bail. Where an offense is of such a grievous nature, or it's a capital offense, let me say, with which the accused is charged, court must remand him to a place of confinement, or it could be a prison.
The reality, though, is that these individuals are actually imprisoned according to an article written in the Daily Monitor by Frederick Mosisi in 2021. Almost 22 prisoners were diagnosed with mental illnesses in white uniforms at the Luzira prisons. All this is contrary to the Uganda Prisons Act, Article 39, that says that if a magistrate judges the prisoner to be a person of unsound mind, the prisoner shall be removed as soon as convenient from the prison and confined in a mental hospital where treatment is given and monitored. There is widespread belief that people with mental illness are prone to acts of violence and aggression. The public perceives them as dangerous individuals, and this is often rooted in the portrayal of criminals as crazy individuals, even in the media. The fact, though, according to Norman Giasi's report on psychiatric illness and criminality, these people are more likely to be victims of violent crime than perpetrators.
When the police arrest, they subject these people to mental tests. Those ones who we identify, and we normally identify them on admission, then the medical team takes them on to see the level at which they are. Some are given sedatives and managed, others are in extreme end that the next stopover is Butawika Mental Hospital.
That is Frank Baine, the Uganda prison spokesperson, and he goes ahead to explain a few more details to the question.
A judge is not supposed to convict a person who committed the crime while not in the state of his mind. Or even if he committed the crime when he was normal, if his state of mind changed while in prison, the law does not allow any judge to give a conviction and therefore a sentence to a person in that state. They normally recommend them to be taken for treatment and await the minister's order. It is the minister to determine whether this person should be released or not.
The Act also suggests that whenever any prisoner is removed from a mental hospital and is entitled to be discharged, the medical superintendent shall notify the officer in charge of the prison from which the prisoner was released, and the prisoner shall be delivered into their custody if still liable to be confined in prison. We find out what this means.
The Magistrates Courts Act, I think under section 11425, addresses that. A report is made by the medical superintendent of the prison after the minister has issued a warrant in respect of the detention of that person where judgment has been granted. They make a report of progressive medical history of that person. When those reports come in, the minister can decide to take a decision on whether to discharge this person or to actually keep him detained. So still, there are processes and procedures. You just don't walk away scot-free.
A study commissioned by Public Interest Clinic, School of Law, Makerere University, by Dora Mafawi, notes that it is with no doubt that persons with mental disabilities face far more complex challenges in their pursuit of justice compared to individuals suffering from physical disabilities. This is because generally mental disability is perceived to diminish the autonomy of the individual and therein undermine the position and capacity of that individual as an active bearer of human rights. A report released by the Ministry of Health and the Uganda Counselling Association in 2022 shows that 14 million Ugandans suffer from mental disorders. This could imply that 35 out of 100 Ugandans could, by no motive, commit a crime under the influence of their mental state, or equally, could get harmed. In our research, we also found out that there are some prisoners that are confined with clear mental status but only get ill during their sentence or after being detained. You may wonder why they are not transferred upon discovery of their condition.
So in prisons, it's our mandate or our priority to examine every prisoner every time that we get new prisoners. Therefore, when we identify a mentally ill patient or prisoner, we grade them. To what extent are they actually mentally ill? Is it something that we can handle within the prison, or is it something that requires to be taken to Butabika National Referral Hospital? They get admitted and they get treatment. For those that are mildly ill, we have a system within the prison to treat and manage them. We have a system, we have staff, we have infrastructure, and we have equipment. So we manage them from inside the prison, and still when they recover, we write a report to court and inform them about the mental status of the client, and then they handle them appropriately. Whatever decisions that they make, we comply, we go ahead and implement.
Butabika Hospital is the only national referral mental health institution in Uganda. The overview vote expenditure budget for financial year 2022-2023 for Butabika is 18 billion Ugandan shillings. This is spread out to cater for the provision of mental health services such as research, support towards mental patients living with HIV, women and children, and recruitment of more experts in the field, but no expansion of more extensive facilities that can accommodate the rest of the mental health patients who end up in the prisons. This means that more mental illness convicts are more likely to end up in prisons than where they would be helped the most. This calls for the government and other civil society organizations to devise means of improving the justice system for mental health issues of our time. Until then, in case you are a parent, a friend, or a guardian to anyone that has a possible mental illness, watch over them and keep them safe.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Debunk. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Debunk Media Initiative. Follow The Debunk Show on all social media platforms at The Debunk Show, and chat with The Debunk board by adding +256 77 122 159 to send any information or fact checking. Stay verified.